Brain with me, your host, Caleb B. Davis. We're doing it again. We've got another 15 for you right here. And the note I ended on last maybe seemed rushed and a little insincere. I'm trying to figure out this time crunch just a little bit and organizing my thoughts a little bit better on the diet, Dr. P. But it was really entertaining to me. My wife and I, like going to her doctor's appointments and all of the things that came with having these little girls. Two little girls. One of the things about finding out you're having twins that's very entertaining is talking with medical professionals, right? And I'll explain, because anyone who knows me knows I look 11, right? Like an unemployed toddler who I don't even know what my purpose would be as the toddler I look like a shitty 11-year-old. Like, I look like a kid who fucking you saw walk to a gas station empty-handed and leave on his way back with a Monster and a bag of Takis, right? Like, and that there's no good combo that comes with being hopped up and spicy. You know what I'm saying? Like a Monster and spicy chips. But me looking as young as I look, it doesn't matter at all how young I don't look. When my wife and I are having sonograms and things like that done, or like we're going to doctor's appointments and then they see my wife and they're like, "Oh, twins." And she's like, "Yep." And they're like, "Was this IVF?" And it's like, what? How young are the parents you have coming in here with IVF babies? Because did you think that we paid for this? Like, We've got gas to go home. The rest of our week's kind of a question mark. We don't have IVF money. Nothing about my baby face at all has any indication to me that it's like, oh, here come the IVF twin parents, right? That's comical to me. Like, how many doctors were like, "Oh, did you guys pay to have twins? Or did you pay for the risk of having twins?" Which, not to make it sound like it's a risk, but anyone who's trying to have a baby and ends up with two babies, it's like, whoa, come on, slugger, save some for everyone else. Like, that's not how it goes, right? Like, it's not take a baby, leave a baby. You get two babies if you make a baby. Right? I don't know. Maybe it's another one of the commercials I lied about making earlier. But I am so excited. I really am. This has been a long time coming, like I mentioned. There's been so many times I've sat down and told myself, I'm going to try to record a podcast. That's what I want to do, and the reason I want to do it has already been explained. It's for the girls. I want to be able to put my voice out there and have some sort of like a recording backlog for them in their future to be able to listen back on and be like, holy shit, this man raised me and he kept me up on my 2 feet. And like, sometimes I asked him to help me with things. It'd be like, they're going to find out they wore the pants so much faster than maybe they should. But I think they'll really only hear this when they're about 15 or so. That's like the very earliest, I think. I don't know. Depends. The future's looking just really questionable with how new adults have become. Like, dude, it's so hard to get somebody who wants to talk to you, to help you, to achieve whatever you go into their establishments for anymore. It's difficult. It's hard to even get into the fucking establishments. Parking lots suck. People don't know how to fucking walk. They don't know how to look both ways. They don't know how to be off their fucking phone. And then they're like, "Oh, a shopping cart? Yeah, I barely know how to use my own fucking body. Let me push around a metal fucking go-kart with no real practical way of steering it, and let me not hold a whole aisle up." And then the people who eat themselves out of a neck, like I was talking about at Texas Roadhouse, just drive their shopping cart around, and they're definitely blocking to and fro on every aisle that they're on. It's crazy. I've given up on products in a store before because I've been like, I can't wait for this guy to back up. It's not happening. This, like I mentioned, is a lot of me. It's a lot of me problems. I'm excited to have more people on here to give me some feedback. I'm going to ask them, be like, what do you think of my show? I'm not going to care. I'm going to take criticisms. I really am. Like, I want this to be good. I want it to be entertaining. I'm looking at my logo I put together, and I really like it. I think it's really nice. I asked my wife her opinion on it. She gave me some critiques, and I agree. She's right a lot of the times. Not all the time. Not even most, but a lot. That's my compromise. She should be happy and will be happy about that. That sounded really awful. I'll be wearing makeup over one of my eyes for the next week. I love pretending that my wife is violent. It's so funny. She is so funny, dude, and it's my favorite thing about her because I'm hard to beat, but she does it pretty regularly. We find ourselves in situations. It's so funny. Like, she gets mad at me for making things awkward when I'm showing her my butt cheeks in the middle of a Walmart. I haven't done it in like 3 months, Mom. Chill out. She gets mad. She's like, you need to knock that off. That's not okay. There's a picture of me with my butt cheeks out in Target. But, I mean, I posted a picture of my ass cheeks on my Instagram story like a year and a half ago, and I thought it was fucking hilarious. And there were quite a few people who were like, this is funny. And it was like, prove it. You didn't like it? You didn't like those butt cheeks, buddy? It's just like one of my dude friends that did think it was funny. Okay, the story was, I posted a picture of my butt cheeks on my Instagram story. It was like just freshly out of a hot shower. It was like, I don't know. There was steam on the glass mirror, and I just barely swiped my hand across the mirror to where you could literally only see my butt cheeks. And then it was a picture of my ass, just barely easily seen, but very easily seen, and it said like, rough day, no one hit me up, and it was the song Fireflies by Owl City. I thought that was so funny. It was just such an interesting combination. I'll do it again. Let me just do it again. I'll just put my ass cheeks on my Instagram story. So what? I'm sure that doesn't violate any Instagram guidelines. It didn't. It was on for the full 24 hours. That was pretty impressive. But yeah, so I love pretending like my wife is violent. It's really funny to me. I think she was so pissed. She's like, did you fucking post a picture of your butt cheeks on your Instagram story? Me, yeah, I did. All my bros loved it, bro. Like, that was what it was. Like, oh yeah, my buddies thought it was really funny. She was like, why did you do that? It was really to see if she was paying enough attention to me, and I found out she was. But so were my boys. Put it there, and I know at least Dominic was paying attention. He thought it was funny. He was like, that was funny. Like I said he told me that. There were a couple other people, but I won't mention their names. Sorry, Dom, you're already in it and you're welcome. But we've got so much fun stuff I'm going to plan on doing here. Like I mentioned, we might do some prank calls. Those are pretty fun. I do a lot of different voices. You've already heard my old lady. That one's great. No replacing old lady. I can also do old man, surprisingly. Most of the time when I'm on the phone, it's lady, though. It's like, I'll be like, calling a place, and I always get the, oh, yes, ma'am. And what sucks is I do phone calls on speaker, not like the person in public. That's not me. But like when I'm with my wife or my mom or my family, whoever, especially with my wife, this is when this hurts. I'll have the phone on speaker. Let's just hypothetical, right? We go to McDonald's, her sandwich, whatever. Her food's wrong. Me calling McDonald's. Thank you for calling McDonald's. This is Juan. How can I help you? Me. Oh, hey, I just came through the drive-thru. My wife's sandwich was messed up. I'll even say that, and they'll be like, oh, okay, ma'am. If you want to come back and we'll remake your sandwich, me. My wife will look at me. She's already just smiling, right? Remember, I told you she's violent. She threatened me at her doctor's appointments for the baby when we found out she was having twins. She had told me when we found out she was pregnant, she was like, this is your fucking fault. Not in a bad way, she'd be like, but you got me pregnant. Look, you got me pregnant. Oh, you're the reason I'm having a baby. You got me pregnant. And then we found out she was having twins because she would be like, this is your baby. You did this baby. Oh, there's little Miss Lillian. She's getting her time in too. My wife, this is your baby. And then we find out we're having two. I'm like, oh, that one is your baby. That was on you, big dog. I don't know what to tell you, but you have spoken and it has responded. It is now two. There are two babies. It is them. Those are them. Those are them babies, you know? It's fun. It's been a lot of fun. She's so funny. Just constantly, we find out we're having two babies while she's getting a sonogram done. That was me looking up at the screen. I was like, all right. And I was like, right when I finally could tell, I was like, oh, look, I was like, wait, is that the baby or is that the baby? And then I hear the sonogram tech go, like, oh, hey, do you know what that is? And as soon as I was like, I looked over at my wife. She's already looking at me. She was like, uh-huh. You already know what kind of look came with uh-huh. And me, like, I looked at her and like the nervous, like, like me smiling. I was excited. I was immediately excited looking at her as she looked at me. There's like 5 feet of space in between us at least, and the sonogram technician's right next to her. Her looking at me, her, uh-huh. And then I look at her and I'm smiling and she just immediately rips me. Just, I could beat you up. And she's just scowling at me because she was like, what did you do, bro? It hurt me. Oh, we're having twins, baby. She looked back at me. We had no idea. And we already knew all at the same time. It was like, oh, we're going to have our hands tied and we're going to have our work cut out for us. It's going to be crazy. And that doesn't change anything. You know, like I mentioned, being a dad has been such an amazing, fun experience. I love these little girls. They're so beautiful. They're amazing. And my favorite qualities are not my same things I see of myself in them, but it's the combination of how much like me and my wife they are. It's nuts. It's insane. One of them looks exactly like my wife. The other one looks exactly like me. And they both act like the craziest little like Mod Podge collection of both of us where I'll be like, bro, that one's got my feet in your hands. And then she'll be like, that's crazy because this one's got my hands in your feet. And I'm like, wow. That's them babies, though. I'm telling you, it's so much fun. I'm just sipping on my Diet Dr. P, guys. Like, I'm just having a fun time. You know, being a dad's fun. I love being a husband. I love where my life has brought me and how it has been the reality I've built for the life I've wanted around myself. And it doesn't get any better than this. It doesn't. It won't. It can't. It never will. You know, it doesn't get better than this. I give myself to every day that I have the ability to try and do something for these girls. And then when I'm going to bed and I see them every night, fed, asleep, clothed, and wrapped in their blanket, I'm like, damn, bro, I did that. You know, me and my wife did that. It's not just a me victory. There's two, you know, when we can get them both wrangled down like that and just satiated, fed, clothed, bathed, wiped, diaper replaced. It's a fulfilling feeling. It's insane. And now our dog he loves these little girls. He's a little wiener dog. He's one of the brown ones that's long haired. He's like, I think they call him cookies and cream or peanut and cocoa or something like that. I don't know. It's something whack. You know how they name dogs, but he's got like the longer hair and he's an asshole. He's a good boy that makes bad decisions and he's got hell a lot of nicknames too. I call him Lincoln Log or Salchicha Wiener. His name's Groot. He's the little lowrider dog. He's got crazy fucking core muscles and the longest fucking attitude, I swear. I saw him hump a beagle a week or so ago. It was inspiring. It's one of those long-legged beagles. That's my wife's family's dog, Loki. So we've got Loki and Groot Boy. You know, that's the best part. So watching, the God of Mischief really take that wood, but I don't know. I'm sorry. I won't do it anymore. I promise. My wife's going to roll her eyes on that one really hard. It's been fun though. This is awesome. We've got the first hour down and I'm so excited to do this. It's going to be hard, but this is why I want to do the 15-minute episode increments. and I'm going to put them out in 15 or 30 minute sets depending on, and maybe once every week or so, and I'm going to wait until I've got maybe another hour or two before I really start cutting these up and releasing them, but it's going to be a passion project I'm excited about for a long period of time. I hope I can get into the habit of doing it. And I really meant to not be drinking this Diet Dr. P while I was doing this. I needed to drink it before I went to bed. It's kind of like, Daddy's night-night juice. But what I'm hoping I can do here is start drinking water while I'm on the pod, so I can start forming two habits that I want to get into at the same time. We're going to work on it, right? This is how I'm going to get an Essentia sponsorship or Topo Chico mineral water sponsorship. We'll work on something here. I'm going to add video to this eventually. I want people to be interested enough in it first before we go that far. Maybe the next hour will be a video. Maybe we'll do every other hour will be a video. The other won't be. I don't know. We'll get into something. I want your feedback. Let me know. A good email for me is going to be comic, COMIC, funnycbd at gmail.com, okay? I'll put it everywhere. Send stuff in if you want to. Even if you just want to bullshit me, I don't care. I'll read it. Send it to me. Let me know what you think. Tell me what you'd be interested in. Write updates. Tell me things that you relate about. Tell me if you want me to read it out here. Tell me if you don't want me to read it out here. Like I said, I'm going to have a couple different guests coming on in the next, I don't know, however many episodes. I'm sure Jeremy will be here. Austin will be here. Maybe Dom will be here. We'll figure it out. We're going to have buddies. I want to promote some of my comic buddies too who are actually still out there doing stuff. It's going to happen. It's going to be cool. I'm so excited for this. I hope y'all are excited. I'm eventually going to get to the point where hopefully we get like merchandise, Patreon, whatever. It's a possibility. I want to keep it user friendly. I want y'all to enjoy it. I'm still supporting two babies. You hear one of them now, Lillian, signing off, and she says, "Dad, it's time for me to fucking eat and go to bed." So thank you again. Have a good rest of your day. This podcast was not brought to you by Essentia Waters. Please do not take this as any affiliation with the brand Essentia Waters. Essentia Waters. Please drink while you're watching TV.